You OK is the title of a 1-minute YouTube video posted 1 year ago by the channel Okoroid. Since then, over 4 million people have viewed it and over 500,000 have liked it. It features two simplistic characters. Let's call them Person 1 and Person 2. Person 1 sees Person 2 and asks if he's okay, with Person 2 responding that he's fine. But by the end of the video, they're hugging, and it's obvious that Person 2 was not, in fact, okay. Why is such a short story so popular? Okoroid uses color contrast, sound effects, facial expressions, and text in the outro to develop an empathetic and sentimental tone that leaves viewers juggling strong negative emotions, which is most of us, feeling understood. Let's begin to analyze. Now, let's pause. As soon as you start the video, you're met with a dark, textured backdrop with the text, "Are you okay?" in white font. Dark versus light and the related good versus bad is a theme that will continue throughout the video, but in the intro, the text itself is white, symbolizing that the question, "Are you okay?" is in some way good or a precursor to something that is good. Matched with the sound of pouring rain, though, you immediately feel you've stepped into a nasty, dark, gloomy storm. And this is when you meet the characters.
Are you okay?
Person 1 is introduced first, with a sort of white orb around him, relatively undefiled by the surrounding darkness. This creates a sense of personal isolation from the rest of the world. Person 1 asks his question in a very soft voice, which makes us feel that we're dealing with something very fragile that could break very easily, and it develops a sort of worrisome tone when matched with the tempest like environment. His facial expressions are rather simple and unexaggerated, letting us know that he is worried, but when the answer comes from Person 2, we could see that his expression is far more detailed and emotional, making us focus our attention and concern immediately on him. Focus on Person 2's expression in the next clip.
Yeah? Have you been crying? No. Do you want to talk about it? No.
Notice how the personal space around Person 2 is white, but it's imperfect and tainted with darkness, and the shadow below his chin tells us that the light he even does have isn't radiating from him, but shining into his life from elsewhere. The emotional tempest we stepped into originally is suddenly recognized as his. His answers are short and his voice feels hopeless because it's low, raspy, and distracted, turning the tone sad as his expressions grow more intense. This, alongside the fact that the characters are interacting from completely different frames, intensifies a sense of loneliness and isolation. As he's questioned, Person 2 is magnified and his eyes are widened, but unlike Person 1, his pupils are aimed in our direction. This makes us confront his state directly, as if we were looking in a mirror, and makes us feel empathetically simply because this character seems to be suffering in a way many of us have experienced, even without context as to why. Let's keep watching.
Do you want a hug? Yeah.
Before Person 1 asks Person 2 if he wants a hug, we hear him take a moment and breathe in deeply as if bracing himself. This reflects his uncertainty about how to deal with Person 2's emotional state, which then allows us to relate to him. Person 2's voice shows first signs of emotion in response to this question, and finally his answer is congruent with his body language in showing that he is not completely okay. Person 1 has to walk out of his white personal orb through the darkness and into Person 2's tainted, gloomy world in order to comfort him, meeting him where he already is. Given the insanely high rates of depression and anxiety in today's youth, the emotions present in this moment of the video are recognizable by most simply by Person 2's frozen and stiff and awkward body language when he's embraced, until the piano music starts playing. Let's listen again to the piano real quick. Even the piano has a melancholy feel to it, but that makes sense because the emphasis it creates is on a flood of emotions, not necessarily happy ones. The entire video hints towards the feelings of person 2 that he refuses to share because there are so many mixed signals. It's like, okay, you have bad posture, you're not looking very great, you're kind of sulking there, your expressions are awfully worried, awfully stressed out, something's going on, and then you're sitting here telling me with all these tonal inclinations that tell me you're not okay,
Yeah.
that you're okay. So there's a ton of tension that builds up throughout the video that's released at the end. And this works to mimic the emotional relief that person 2 experiences himself. The feelings developed in the video linger strongly throughout the outro, too. The outro begins with a message saying, "To my brother, thank you." The mere use of this acknowledgement lets us know that the exigence for this video is related to the maker's personal experiences with negative emotions, even despite him being successful as the media defines it with over 500,000 followers. This takes the sentimentality of the video and the message and makes an immediate real life application, magnifying its impact and helping to answer the question, why is such a short story so popular? Thank you for watching.